Hello, my Zentangle friends. This is Barbara Langston, CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and I hope you're doing well. I'm going to show you another little Christmas card that I've done recently. It's very simple, and it's done with this pattern that I've already taught on another video, but I've never done it in a Christmas color fashion, so that's what I'm going to do today. What I have is I have a set of cards and envelopes that were given to me, so I'm just, oh, sorry, I've just been using those. This card is 5.5 by 4 inches. And I'm also going to decorate the envelope. So you'll need just a card. This is actually just cardstock that's folded in half. I'm going to use some Staedtler fine liner pens, and I am going to use some Wink of Stella. And that is simply a very fine glitter that you brush on. And I used that in my last video also. It just gives it a little sparkle, which I really like to do. Now for the pattern Yolo, the only thing you need to remember is that if you think of these as hills, when you're going up this hill, just before you get to the top, you're going to put a little spiral. And then we come on this side of the hill is where you start your spiral. That's the one thing that I have to keep in mind when I'm doing this. And you'll see as I go along. And it's a very simple pattern, but it makes a really pretty card. And excuse me, what I'm going to do is make these little hills and valleys all the way around the border of this card. And I have found that if I kind of start in the corner with my first little hill and valley, and they don't have to be perfect at all. And then I'm just going to keep going around with these little waves of a line. Okay, and then I'm going to turn my card so it's a little bit easier for me to do this. And my goal is just to get a little bit of the round like this on each side. And you can see down here that these are not exactly the same, and it's not going to matter. Okay. So just wavy lines and meet up with that one. Okay. So that's my beginning. And next I'm going to use the green. And I'm using these because they're the closest to Christmas colors that I have. Okay, so like I was saying, you have these little valleys and hills. And let's start with this one. And where this starts to go up, I'm just going to do my first spiral. Okay. And then we're going to put 3 leaves. 1, 2, 3. Mine tend to get a little bit smaller as I go along. Yours can all be the same size. And then I put just a little vein up the middle of each leaf. Okay, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit and try to stay on screen for you. Sorry about the wobble. Okay. So again, here we're going up this hill. And before you get to the top of the hill, that's where you're going to put your first spiral. And 3 leaves. All right, going up the next one. You can get this done pretty fast, but it's very pretty. You can also do this as a ribbon, and I'll show you that on the envelope. Okay, I'm going to move to the inside on this one. Okay, put this one. So I think I have most of my Christmas shopping finished because I try to do it online. I do not like to go to the mall, especially this time of year. Although I guarantee my grandkids are excited about it. Well, especially the younger. I have teenage grandkids and younger ones. Okay, so I'm going inside, outside, inside, outside. I guess you've noticed. Just alternating where I'm starting that little spiral. I know some of you are in heavy snow. I just don't do well with cold. I guess if I had grown up around snow and cold weather, I would get used to it. But I like to be warm. So I am happy to be in South Texas. I'm halfway between Houston and Galveston. Okay, so we're just continuing to put these leaves on both sides of our wavy line. Okay, and here's our last one. Okay, so the last thing we do with Yolo is this little ball, and I am going to go back to the red on that one. So just start anywhere, and I'm going to make these kind of big, and I'm going to fill them in. So we're just going to go around. I also did this on a brown, the kind of craft color envelope. I'll try to remember to show a picture of that. And it was really pretty. I have these envelopes and cards in cream color, which is what I'm on now. I have it in white and in the craft brown, like this. And I did several cards for my niece and several cards for my sister. And these were my favorites. And I've been looking for other patterns that could be useful for Christmas cards. But I also realized that people are trying to get their stuff done quickly. So I'll see if I can show you some other ideas soon. But I also did start a playlist on my YouTube channel that includes several videos that can be used for Christmas ideas. Okay, so this is where I started, and I want to remember that because I'm going to bring this Wink of Stella. And I do want to say you've got to be careful with this. If there's not any of the glitter, whoops, down here, then you squeeze here, it says push. You squeeze it down into the barrel. But if you're not careful and you squeeze too much, you can end up with a blob on your tile. So if you can tell, there's a little bit of glitter there. So I'm not going to squeeze that down in there, but I'm going to go around on each of these. See if you can see it. It gives it just a little bit of glitter, a little bit of shine. And these pins are not permanent pins. These are just regular markers. So you'll be able to see that the end of that brush is getting to be a little bit red. So just be aware of that. You can clean it by just brushing it off. Okay. But I just love the little sparkle it gives to these balls. And it's more noticeable in person, I'm sure. And I've had this Wink of Stella pen for a while. It does last. And I'm pretty sure I got it off of Amazon. I'm just trying to be careful not to touch it where I've already put it so that it can dry without smearing. Okay. So there's our little card. I'm going to clean this off a little bit. And then I do have another step to show you. I forgot to mention that I am going to use a white gel pen. This one is a Uniball Signo because the Jelly Roll pens that I have are not working quite right. All right. And now I'm going to put this on here, and I'm just going to go across the top. I'm going to go along this little V. So okay. And then we're going to do the same thing. Here's the top of my little hill. I just think it's really cool to have matching envelopes. The one thing to remember, though, is if this is going into the mail, you might want to make sure you use a permanent pen. I do have green and red in my Micron pens, but I wanted to use these because they're a little bit closer to the red and green Christmas colors. And you could do this straight across if you wanted to. Okay, one more. Okay. Now back to the red. I'm going to put our little berries on there. Okay. Now I'm just going to use my card to dry these so that I can do the wink of Stella. And I think I've said in the past that I do believe that this comes in a clear, a gold, and a silver. And I think this is the clear, although it does look gold inside. Ooh, that one kind of smeared a little bit. To go easy, stay inside my line. This is liquid, so since these are not permanent markers, it can make them smear a little bit. So again, if you're mailing these, you might want to be using a different pen. Okay, so that tip cleans up very easily. So I'm going to go back to this one and let that envelope dry. And I'm going to get my white gel pen and make sure it's working. And then I'm just going to put a little line, like a reflection, on each one of these. So just at the top of each one, just a little line to make it look like it's got some light reflecting off of it. And I might have needed to let that dry a little bit longer, but you can still see it. So I'll let this dry some more, and then I'll go back over that again, and I'll do the same thing on these. Okay, so in some of my cards, I wrote something in the center. You could write Happy Holidays. You could put somebody's name, a little quote, say Merry Christmas, whatever you'd like to do. So there we go. Super simple. Again, it was Yolo by Angie, Gittles. I also have a stamp that I put on the back of my cards, and it says Original Art by Barbara Langston. And the reason I had that made was I thought about trying to sell some cards or to donate them so that charities could sell them, but I really didn't follow up on that because it was just more work than I had time to do. But here's our card and our envelope. And I will try to get another idea out there for you in the next couple of days. And happy holidays to you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, I would appreciate it if you would click the like button. And if you have not, I hope that you will subscribe. And I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.